Hey guys, it's your girl, Terez Nicole. I'm a realtor with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, PenFed Realty. I'm also the cheer director over at Crestwood Middle School for Ballinger Creek Rec Council and a varsity cheer coach over at at Frederick High School. I totally love my community and I love the youth in my community. So what we did was we created a platform where we can get a platform just to stay within the CDC guidelines. So we're doing Zoom interviews this week so we can bring our community leaders and our community partners together to bring just information and support with resources for our community. Today I'm here with her daughter Brianna Gause, with Yvette Gause with BeGause of Love, is it?
Yep, Because of Love, Health and Wellness Coaching.
Awesome, and I love that because it's your last name. But
yes,
before we get started, we're gonna ask that you guys go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel just so you can get notifications as we put up new information. How are you today, Yvette?
Oh, I am wonderful. Thank you. Glad to be here with you.
Thank you so very much. How was your Mother's Day?
Mother's Day was great. My children are both, I have two kids, they're both in Philadelphia, but I got lots of love from them virtually. My son sent his girlfriend over with some flowers and a pot and some seeds for me to do some planting, because it's been our tradition to go out and plant flowers for Mother's Day. So he sent some over for me to do by myself. And then I got to spend a couple of hours on the phone with my daughter, also on the Zoom call. So it was great.
That is awesome. So does the planting the flowers, does that kind of ease you or keep you calm?
Oh yeah, I mean it's definitely something to get your hands in the dirt and makes me feel like I have something fresh and something new growth, and that's what Mother's Day is. It's like a blessing to me, and it's knowing that life came from being a mother. I was given life, so giving these children life, and so it's just a reminder of the renewal of spring and all that fun good stuff. So it's a great tradition. I'm glad that they didn't forget about me in that regard.
That is awesome. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do? Because that goes directly in line with what you were just talking about. So can you just tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. I am a national board certified health and wellness coach. I have two jobs. My full-time job, I am a inside sales manager for a value-added reseller. We sell IT hardware and software to the federal government. That's my full-time job. But my job that I want to do for the rest of my life is to be a coach. And what my primary focus is, working with women who are just like me, who have been struggling with overwhelm, with helping everybody in every situation. We're a mother, we're a boss, we're on every kind of community committee, Rotary, Girl Scouts, all that stuff. And we carry so much responsibility for the world and for other people. And in those responsibilities, we neglect our own health. So we face issues of stress-related issues like obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, and migraine headaches, and that sort of thing. And so what I do is work with women who are in that situation, and through practices of self-love and self-care, they begin to get themselves more in balance. And then once they're in balance, they're able to give to the people that they care about their best selves. Because right now, when you're struggling with your own situation, it doesn't matter if you're getting something done, you're not doing it at your optimal best, right? So what we do is work together so that we are addressing different issues in your life, like your physical, making sure you're getting up and being active, spiritual, financial, social, all aspects of wellness is what we concentrate on to get women back in balance so they can be their best selves.
I love that. So why did you get into that field? Why did you build that platform for women?
So 10 years ago, I lost my sister. She died suddenly. She just dropped from a pulmonary embolism. And she was only 40 years old. She left behind two young children, and they actually had to be separated. So it was like a real struggle, as you can imagine, just having somebody just drop. And she was my older sister. We were 2 years apart, and we spent so much time together. So in learning about what her personal situation was before she died, I realized that she was facing situations and she was dealing with them by herself. So she had isolated herself, dealing with financial problems, dealing with emotional issues, dealing with health issues that she just didn't want anybody to know about. And so in going through that experience, I realized that every woman needs to have someone that they can talk to, someone that they can rely on, someone that won't judge them for what they're going through, because we all have things that we're going through, but we don't want to tell anybody because we don't want anybody to say, oh, she's weak or she needs somebody else or whatever. We all want to be these strong women. And so by allowing women to have a space to say, hey, I'm suffering too, and have someone actually listen to them, because I think the thing that we need most is just to have somebody listen. And once you have that, and once you get things off your chest, and once you realize that, hey, there is a solution out there and it just takes one step at a time and need a plan for it, then we can move forward, you know, and enjoy life in a better way that we didn't even imagine before.
Well, I'm so sorry for your loss. I know it happened a while ago, but I'm sure you still miss your sister every single day.
Oh, absolutely.
So I commend you for starting this platform in honor of her, pretty much, and to save other lives. That's pretty awesome. What have you been doing during the pandemic just to kind of focus on yourself?
Well, you know, it's funny because this ties into my sister. Also, her daughter has 2 sets of twins, and they are little people. So the 2 years, one set is 2 years old, the other set is 9 months old, right? So, and she's a single mom. And so during this pandemic, when she was sitting home to work from home, she works for a call center, and she had to answer the calls to do her job at home, right? So these kids were running around, making a whole lot of noise, disrupting her. I'm, you know, a manager in my job, so I have a little more freedom. So she called me and she said, can you help me with these kids? So I've had 2 2-year-olds here during this pandemic. So for me, I've been a surrogate grandmother for the last 6 weeks, and it has been a truly blessed experience. My husband and I have been empty nesters for like 6 months now. And then, so now we have 2 little ones running around the house. So for me, that has been my self-care, because I've been able to go outside, play with them in the backyard, knowing that, you know, we can't go to playgrounds, but we can take walks around the neighborhood. We can go sit in the backyard. They play with the dog. So that kind of thing, I think, has been a true blessing for me during this time, because we weren't totally isolated here alone. We had, in addition to our family, and we were able to know that we're giving back to help someone else in need during this time. So that's been my gift, and that's what I believe that has made this a little bit easier for me.
Well, you are a true blessing to your niece, because I know you were like her savior at that time. 2 sets of twins. So you're working from home currently for your full-time job.
Yes.
As well as, so that's really good that you were able to jump in, which is one of the reasons I got into real estate, is so I can have, not that we have that much flexibility, but to have a little bit of flexibility and control over my schedule. So I definitely commend you for being able to just jump in and have, you know, the little ones.
It's been great.
Yeah, I'm sure to kind of keep some type of normality in your life.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, what, you know, in your background as well, what should other families or even women should be doing to kind of keep themselves focused or engaged during the pandemic or the stay-at-home order?
Mm-hmm. So I think that the number one thing to do is to have some sort of routine. I have heard stories about people that are just like, oh yeah, well, I slept till noon, and oh, I stayed in my pajamas all day, and oh, now I'm so bored and I've gained so much weight, and I'm depressed, I'm lonely, I'm this, right? And so, but in keeping with the routine, waking up the same time every day, brush your teeth, take a shower, put some clothes on, even if it's a fresh set of pajamas, you know what I mean? But just get yourself ready and energized for the day, and have a purpose, set an intention for the day. So I know some people, like in my job, because we support the federal government, I'm busier than ever right now because we are supplying, computer stay-at-home technology for our government customers. And I know that some people are out of work or may not have as much work volume. So if they're not engaged in their work activities, it's important to take advantage of this time to learn something new, something that you haven't had a chance to do before. If you are at home right now, in my opinion, if you're at home right now and you don't have anything to do, you are missing out on an opportunity of a lifetime to advance yourself, to grow, and to nurture yourself. So I would highly suggest everybody to find a purpose, find at least one thing, and spend a couple of hours a day concentrating on that and making sure they just have a normal routine. We have, my husband makes breakfast, lunch, and dinner for these kids. So we sit at the table for every meal so that they have some sort of, here's the routine.
Yes.
We go to bed at the same time, say prayers, all that stuff. So you got to set a routine so that you can stay balanced, because otherwise things become chaotic. People don't know what day of the week it is, don't know what time it is. Set a routine for yourself to stay on track.
So one of the concerns that I'm hearing, because I've been making some phone calls during this time, is that some parents are home and they're working from home, and then they also have children that should be doing their studies while at home as well.
Right.
How can you balance something like that? Is it pretty much the same?
I would say so. And it's a matter of just like when you're at work and you get to get up and take a break and go to the bathroom. So if I'm working and so this is what I do. I work upstairs in my home office. And thank goodness I have a partner my husband, who is able to work with the kids down here, but I take regular breaks so that I can engage with them and see what's happening and communicate. So it's take a break, check on the kids, even though you think that they are maybe logged into school. I've had lots of parents tell me that they thought their kids were logged in doing their homework, only to find out later because the teacher contacted them and they hadn't turned in any assignments. So like, what have you been doing all this time? They're playing video games. So make your children aware that you're going to come check on them during the day. Don't wait till the end of the day. Don't wait till the end of the week. Check on them, make sure that they're okay, and set them up with their assignments, and then follow through. I know it's hard, I know it's stressful, but that's something that we have to do to make sure that our children, we need to make sure that this generation of kids don't get lost because they were sent home and nobody really paid attention to what they were doing. So that's a really big risk for the students for right now. So we got to really just pay attention, check in with people.
I love that information, because that is a couple of challenges that I'm hearing out there that people are having. And I just try to help them realize that school is closed for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So if your child doesn't do anything for the rest of the year, they may not be promoted. So
Right.
This is extremely a critical time for, parents to just kind of just check in and make sure their students are doing schoolwork. So I love that piece of advice. Are you seeing any challenges out there, whether it be your company or anywhere? What challenges are you seeing in the community?
Well, I joined the what's it called, Nextdoor, the Nextdoor.
Yes.
Right,
Yep.
yes. And I think that I think at the beginning of this whole thing, people were like, okay, well, I can't go out, I'm, immune compromised and that sort of thing. But just to see the community of people saying, hey, well, I'll come by, I'll drop something off at your door. What do you need? Or, people saying, well, I'm making face masks or whatever. I think that the sense of community has increased definitely. Whether it is people that are right next door to you or people on an app that I've never seen before. But I see their names all the time now on this Nextdoor app.
Mm-hmm.
And when I go outside, I have neighbors and we're all, checking in on each other. Now, I'm not going to go knock on their door. They're not knocking on my door. But when we see each other, we make sure to ask and say, is there anything you need? Because I'm going out right now. So, other than that, I have been in my own little world here. So I don't really know what the other challenges are out in the neighborhood, but I do see that there's so much, it's an increase in community that I've witnessed, which is a blessing.
And I agree. I have a couple of really, really cool interviews coming up with the leaders in our community that have been stepping out there on the front line. And IBM, I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, or Blessings in a Backpack, that's I Believe in Me. So, I mean, people are really, and even next door, I follow that app as well. And the sense of community has really increased, which is one of the reasons I created this platform, so we can get information out to the community members as well. And with that being said, because I know with your business, did you do anything to COVID proof your services? Like, are you doing any Zoom or virtual calls with clients?
Yes. So like, my office that I work out of for the health and wellness coaching is in Columbia, and we would, have in-person meetings, workshops, that sort of thing. So all that stuff's been taken online. I started a Her Wellness, Her Way Facebook group dedicated to women who just can gather and ask questions, because what I want to make sure that we have the right information to rejoin society. So when we go back into society after being quarantined, after being sterile, after, constantly washing your hands, not breathing fresh air and that sort of thing, those things actually reduce your immune system. And the women of our community, African Americans, we're at a higher risk of a lot of these. We're at a high risk because of high blood pressure, diabetes, and that sort of thing, which makes our immune systems compromised. And so it's important that even though you practice social distancing and, wash your hands and that sort of thing, just like the little kids who never play outside in the dirt, who never they get sick all the time, right? Those are the kids that have all sorts of allergies and can't touch anything or whatever. So we have to get out there and breathe the air, touch the dirt, go out in your own yard with no shoes and socks on, and just be a part of the earth. Because when it's time to go out and be surrounded by all these people, and with a compromised immune system, with a reduced immune system, you're going to be at a higher risk without even thinking about it, thinking that, oh, I've done everything right this whole time staying in my house, but you're actually contributing to opening yourself up to being sick. So I started a Facebook group just so that we can get together, talk about, what are you doing? What are you working on? Giving tips and that sort of thing, and just having a community of women.
Is that a public page that anybody could join?
It's a private page, but you can go on Facebook, search Her Wellness, Her Way, and, ask to join the group, and you'll be admitted.
I'll add that link to this YouTube video as well. That way people could join. Is there any way people could, if somebody was like, this is an awesome interview, I want to learn more, is there a website or a way they can reach out to you?
Sure. My website is YvetteGause.com. My Facebook is Because of Love Health and Wellness Coaching. And on Instagram, Because of Love _HWC.
Awesome. Thank you for that information. Now, I know you've been dealing with the little 2-year-olds during this pandemic and helping out there, but have you been doing anything else to stay focused on your purpose?
Like I said, just reaching out to other women, and I've been also working with other groups of coaches. So I'm involved with a couple of other networking groups. There is another group that is co-sponsored with the Academy of Natural Wellness, and it's called Coping with Corona. So that's another group that anybody can join, and it's people getting together talking about, meditation, breathing techniques, ways to deal with stress. So I've been engaged with just a couple of groups, and we've all just like-minded people who want to make sure that everybody is healthy and well. So
awesome. How about any books? Have you been reading any books?
I've been reading some kids' books, but not for myself right now. I haven't had time to do anything for myself right now.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Babies at night.
Yes, I love it. Well, I do have a favorite kids book. It's called The Giving Tree. So you are definitely giving right now to your niece, who's probably like a daughter almost to you as well.
So both sets of twins, believe it or not, are a boy and a girl. So I mean, who would have guessed that somebody could have two sets of twins and they're both a boy and a girl? It's so funny.
Exactly. So I know you already gave a little bit of advice to families during this pandemic. Do you have anything else to give to families about what they could possibly do to stay focused and stay sane?
For families, I would just say, stay focused and decide what you want to do as a family. Where do you want to be coming out of this? Have any of your relationships actually changed? Because I've heard stories about husband and wives who are ready to get a divorce, and now they definitely are ready to get a divorce. And then there are some who may have been, distancing in their relationship, but this has brought them closer together. So I would say identify, this is truly an opportunity to find out where you want to be and who you want to be with. And if the people in your house have been getting on your nerves to the utmost, evaluate those relationships. And is there something that you can do to make them better? And 9 times out of 10, if you spend time with the people in your home, this is a perfect time to get to know them, reintroduce yourselves to each other, spend quality time. Don't just take these fleeting moments and say, hey, we're stuck here. Do something together. And I will tell you that my husband and I just got in the mail today. It's a book of devotions for couples. And it is 2 to 5 minutes a day, just reading a devotion and having a conversation about it. And I just think that that's something that you can do with your significant other, something you can do with your children, and something that you can just do by yourself. So I just think just building those relationships, nurturing them, because there is no disruption right now. You have time to actually spend that time with each other.
It's funny you say that, because we always say, I wish I had more time at home. I wish I had more time to spend with family. And now we have an abundance of time.
Right.
And I put a quote, because I do believe myself as a quote girl. I just read quotes and they motivate me, and I kind of find something in it to drive me for a day. But today I put a post on Facebook that said, it might be stormy now, but rain doesn't last forever. So make sure we're preparing today for tomorrow, because that's the important thing. Especially, I'm doing some upcoming interviews with people who are actually reinventing themselves during this pandemic. They're kind of starting new businesses and so forth. So I have those lined up after the 3 that I have with our community givers, is what I'm calling them. But yes, now is the time. You said it best. Now is the time to reinvent yourself and find your purpose. So do you have a favorite quote or anything like that?
I do. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster. There are plans for a future and a hope. Because no matter what we're going through, the solution is already provided for us. We just have to be patient and listen. And it's not how we're going to get through it. It's what we're going to learn and how we're going to show up on the other side. So knowing that there is already something already worked out, we just have to go through this and listen and be still and pay attention, because we've already survived our worst days, right? We're still here. So what you thought was your worst day 10 years ago, you're still here, you survived it. And there are some people who are going to pass away and die, but we are still surviving each moment. And that's what we have to do, is remember to live in the moment, because what is going to happen next is already set forth before. So just enjoy it and relax and keep going.
Well, that's actually the scripture that I have on my son's Bible. Is when he graduated from high school, we had his name embroidered on his Bible with that scripture. So, wow. And then also with the whole, I know that there's going to be a lot of changes when we come out of this. Maybe the birth rate, maybe the divorce rate, I'm not sure.
Right.
But however, Frederick County has been doing very well, keeping our numbers low. So, I don't really watch the news too often because it is negative. I try to watch once a day and kind of see when it starts resetting to repeat. I just kind of turn it off. But Frederick County has been doing a really good job with our numbers. So
absolutely.
that's a really good thing. Can you share one positive energy or thing that you're in control of right now? I know with this pandemic going on, a lot of families are feeling like they're losing control, but we still have control of certain things in our lives. What are you in control of right now?
I would say that being grateful for what is right here in front of us. And so that's the one thing that is just, when you're looking around and you're saying, oh my goodness, there are people that don't have jobs, there are people that don't have food, there are people that don't have, the security of whether they're going to get a job when they come out of here. The one thing to do is be grateful for the things that are right here in your face right now and to say them out loud. So if you have less hours, you're grateful that you have the opportunity to maybe go back to this job. Be grateful that you have a roof over your head. Be grateful that you have food. It may not be, the top notch or everything, in the abundance that you believe that you need, but it's enough. That you have enough, that you are enough, and you have enough. And so be grateful in everything that you do, and speak it out loud and tell people that you're grateful for having them in your lives, because that is going to go a long, long way beyond this pandemic. So I would say show gratitude in everything that you have, and it will all come back to you.
I love it. Gratitude from Yvette Gause with BeGause of Love, Health and Wellness. Thank you so very much for being here with me today to kind of help our community get through this time, this downtime. But thank you so very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
For being so fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you.
Again, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share so others can also subscribe and share, and we can continue making community connections. That's what this is all about. Thank you.